Are you in a relationship with a narcissist and feeling like, why is this grief never ending with me? Why can I just never get out of this thing? In this video, I'm going to explore with you why you feel like this grief is never going to end. Hey there, I'm Rebecca Zung, and I'm a narcissist expert and attorney and the best-selling author of Slay the Bully, How to Negotiate with a Narcissist and Win. And I've helped thousands of people, maybe just like you, break free from the invisible chains of dealing with high conflict relationships and take back your power. And if you're dealing with a narcissist or recovering from one, make sure to subscribe and tap that notification bell, because this is your space to learn, to grow, and reclaim your voice. And I have something special for you. It's a special gift, and it's Disarm the Narc phrases. They're super powerful tools that you can shut down manipulation in real time, and you can get it right in this QR code. It's right here right now, because I want you to have something super powerful. So let's talk about something I know is incredibly close to your heart and to so many of you. And frankly, the reason why I chose this topic, because I get so many DMs and comments every single day that says, hey, it's been so many months and I'm trying to negotiate, I'm trying to communicate, maybe even years, and I'm grieving this person. I'm like still stuck in this relationship and it just never ends. Why can't I get out of this thing? Why won't they just leave me alone? I'm still grieving this person. Maybe I feel like, did they like never love me? Was it all just like a farce? Why can't I just move on? And I just want to say this really loud and clear. It's not just grief. It's actually kind of like an addiction that like you have a physiological thing that it was like embedded in your brain. I actually just interviewed a psychologist on this, and they talk about this dopamine addiction that actually is in your body, that is part of the whole physiological thing that happens with narcissists. And I'm going to talk about that. And I'm going to talk about why it lingers and what you can even do about it to find peace. A grief from a narcissist is not just a regular grief. When we lose a healthy relationship, whether it's romantic, professional, even with a family member, there's a process. You mourn, you heal, and you eventually move forward. But a grief from a narcissist is not clean. It's not linear. It doesn't follow the 5 stages of grief that we've all heard about, because you're not just grieving a person, you're grieving an illusion that they've created, you're grieving this version of you that existed in the relationship, and you're grieving this hope that one day they might change, and you're grieving and you're dealing with the physical manifestations that took place in your body. You're grieving this whole thing, that this dopamine and cortisol and there's a lot of things that took place physiologically in your body as well, which is very, very difficult to deal with. It's a lot. There's a whole toxic mix of things that happened in that situation. Plus, you were in love with a mask, and what happened at the time of the end of the relationship is, you were trying to have closure. They wouldn't even give you closure, and they don't show up as their real selves. I mean, they try to show up as your soulmate. Even if it was a business relationship, they come on so strong and they appeal to all sorts of your senses. They mirror you. They give you everything you ever wanted, and they hook you in. And then when that mask comes off, it's so shocking and jarring. You've got all sorts of hormones going off in your body. And so when that relationship ends, you're not only grieving them, but physiologically, you have to separate yourself from that. And your body is dealing with a stress level that is beyond what anybody else has to deal with. You're not only grieving the person that they pretended to be, you're dealing with a mind twist that's like no other. And you never get closure. They don't end the relationships like healthy people do, where you get to maybe talk it out, you get to have a conversation about it, and you get to understand what happened. They might ghost you. They might discard you with cruelty, where you don't understand, especially because you might have given. so much of yourself. And they might even smear your name and act like the victim, and you have no idea what you might have done. And you're left in the rubble asking, what did I do? Was any of this actually me? Why did they change overnight? Why do I miss somebody who destroyed me? And there's no apology. And there's probably some unhealed wound inside of you that was longing for that love that they gave you, some kind of open wound inside of you that you didn't have the love that you wanted, and they gave you that for a period of time. And so when they rip that away, you feel even more destroyed, and there's more of a black hole that they left. There's no accountability. And your brain is searching for answers that never come. And if any of this is resonating with you right now, I just want you to say yes in the comments. Oh, yes, in the comments right now. And I want you to tell your story in the comments, because your story can help others. And then we can start to build a sense of community here, because other people can see what your story is, and then you can connect with others. And that connection can start to help you heal, start to have you feel less of a sense of isolation, and others feel less of a sense of isolation. Have you ever met somebody, they started off to be the most charming, charismatic person you've ever met in your life, then they turned out to be your worst nightmare, and then when you go to negotiate with them, they're a living hell? Well, I developed something called the SLAY method of negotiating with narcissists, and it has helped tens of thousands of people in more than 150 countries win, go from feeling drained and defeated to getting the outcomes they want. And the reason why it works is because I spent more than 20 years studying narcissism as a trial attorney, and now I'm here to help you win too, and also take your suffering and turn it into your superpower. Take your pain and turn it into profit, peace, and purpose as a highly specialized, high conflict negotiation coach. If you want to learn how to do it, then just go to RebeccaZung.com/apply, and I will show you how. I mean, this trauma bonding is so huge. Narcissists use that cycle of reward and punishment, and that intermittent reward creates that sense of emotional dependency. One day they tell you everything, the next day they ignore you or they criticize you, and then you're back in with just enough love, just enough dopamine to keep you hoping, to keep you strung along. And your brain becomes addicted to those highs and lows. It's not love. It's literally a chemical roller coaster. And when it ends, your nervous system is in full withdrawal. The pain you feel, it's that dopamine, cortisol, adrenaline crashing. You weren't in a relationship. You were in a biochemical survival state. Okay? It's a physiological chemical addiction. Let's make this real. Emily's story. Emily thought she met the one. Was charming, attentive, made her feel seen in a way no one else had. But within a year, he was controlling her finances, isolating from her friends, and constantly accusing her of cheating. And when she finally left, she said, I feel like I'm grieving a ghost. She missed the man from a few months. She missed the man who was the person that he presented himself to be at the beginning, which is really an imaginary version. And that's the grief. It's not for who they actually are. It's for who they made you believe that they were. It could be for a narcissistic mother. So Tina went no contact with her narcissistic mother in her 40s. Her mom would compliment her one minute and then call her worthless the next. Even after years of therapy, Tina cried on holidays, birthdays, Mother's Day, because she wasn't grieving her mom. She was grieving the mother she never had and would never have. This kind of grief has no clean ending, because this is a person who's not healthy. When somebody's not emotionally healthy, they're not going to be an emotionally healthy person. So how do you start releasing that grief? what do? You don't just move on. You strategically have to release and rebuild and take care of yourself. You have to owe yourself that self-care. You have to be that person to yourself that you wanted that other person to be for you. So acknowledge what you're really grieving. Say out loud, I'm grieving what I hoped they would become. I'm grieving a lie. I'm grieving the person of myself that I abandoned to keep the peace. And I'm worth it. I know I'm worthy. I know I'm lovable. I know I'm worthy of love. And that is how you start taking your power back and create your own closure. Write that letter to yourself. Say all the things to yourself that you would have wanted them to say. And then burn it up, rip it up, bury it. Whatever ritual you need to finally bring yourself that closure. But you don't need their permission to heal. And you don't need them to make you whole because you are already whole. You already are there. But you can start small, baby steps. Use little tools to just start turning yourself around. So use phrases like my Disarm the Narc phrases, which you can get right here at this QR code, disarmthenarc.com. They give you something to have at the ready. So you have a voice when you don't know what to say, especially in those high pressure moments, those moments where you feel like, oh my God, I'm going to be emotional. And I'm like, I don't want to say something that I'm going to regret. Because remember, anything you put your hand to is a potential trial exhibit. Don't write something. Don't put it in writing. Don't hit send. Don't hit post without making sure that it's going to be something that you're going to be okay with seeing again. Start setting boundaries with small things. Say no without explaining. That's okay. You don't need to be feeling guilty. Choose silence instead of defending yourself. Walk away from conversations that are going to bait you or trigger you. Put that invisible shield down around you. Start looking at things as if you are a third party. Start responding. Don't react. Observe. Don't absorb. Every little choice tells your brain, I matter. I'm worth it. Start disengaging. Pretend like you're reporting the news. Just, okay, I see you. Start reframing. Every time they do something that gets on your nerves or, is counter to what they're supposed to do, just write it down, start documenting and just say, thank you for the gift. Walk away. And that's when the grief begins to lift. And listen, I know this isn't easy. And that's why for many of you, this grief feels like it's never going to end. But that's why I encourage you to join my free private Facebook group, Narcissist Negotiators with Rebecca Zung. Don't be alone. And here's what I want you to know. This grief does not have to rule your life. You can feel it, you can honor it, and then still move forward, stronger, smarter, and more powerful than ever before. So if this spoke to you, I would love for you to hit that like button, share it with somebody who needs to hear it, and make sure that you subscribe and click that notification bell. I release new videos every single day to guide you through this journey. And I would love to know in the comments what part of the grief that's been the hardest for you to release. Let's open up, let's support each other. Remember to grab your free Disarm the Narc phrases. They're a game changer. I'm Rebecca Zung. I hear you. I see you. I believe in you. I'm so proud of you. Look how far you've already come. You're not weak. You're not broken. You are unshakable. Look how much you've already done. If you're a renter, you should be taking advantage of Built. We rack up points on groceries, travel, and nearly everything else. So why not one of your most hugest monthly expenses, which is your rent? Because with Built, paying rent finally pays off. There's no cost to join. And just by paying rent, you unlock flexible points that can be transferred to your favorite hotels and airlines, a future rent payment, your next Lyft ride, and more. When you pay rent through Built, you unlock two powerful benefits. First, you earn one of the industry's most valuable points on rent every month. No matter where you live or who your landlord is, your rent now works for you. Second, you gain access to exclusive neighborhood benefits in your city. Built's neighborhood benefits are things like extra points on dining out, complimentary post-workout shakes, free mats, or towels at your favorite fitness studios and unique experiences that only Built members can access. And when you're ready to travel, Built points can be converted to your favorite miles and hotel points around the world, meaning your rent can literally take you places. So if you're not earning points on rent, my question is, what are you waiting for? Start paying rent through Built and start taking advantage of your neighborhood benefits by going to joinbuilt.com/negotiate. That's joinbilt.com/negotiate, and make sure to use our URL so that we know that you were sent to them by us. So go to joinbuilt.com/negotiate to sign up for Built today. Have you been looking for a natural way to relieve aches or discomfort or stress? CBD gummies from Cornbread Hemp are formulated to work with your body instead of against it. I have really close family members and friends who have dealt with stress or health issues, really severe health issues, and I have seen this work amazing miracles for them. And what I love about their products is that not only does it help relieve discomfort or stress or sleeplessness, but they're actually third-party lab tested and USDA approved, and they're organic, so they ensure safety and purity. And right now, Negotiate Your Best Life podcast listeners can save 30% on their first order. Just head to cornbreadhemp.com/negotiate and use the code negotiate at your checkout. That's cornbreadhemp.com/negotiate and use the code negotiate. When I first launched my store at shop.rebeccazung.com, I needed a simple way to manage online and in-store sales. Shopify Point of Sale made it seamless. Shopify POS connects everything online and in-store into one system. Customers shop how they want, and my team always has the tools to get the sale done. It's proven to work. Shopify POS users see a 22% better total cost of ownership and an 8.9% sales boost on average. Want more? Check out shopify.com/negotiate, all lowercase, shopify.com/negotiate. The next video I want you to watch is 5 evil things only narcissists do. And until then, keep going, keep rising, keep negotiating your best life, keep slaying that bully, and I'll see you in that next video.